This is the reason why people don't get on good offers. Let's talk about why people are not making the money that they want to be making. Why do you think that the root cause is?
What I realized was that the new students, you gave up way too soon. Killing their sales, killing their career, killing the life they could have, killing the version of themselves they could have.
If your success is based on someone else's promise, you're one promise away from losing everything that you've ever achieved. Why do you need external validation, external permission to get the results that you want? A lot of sales coaches, they fake their numbers.
It's like a fat personal trainer who doesn't go to the gym telling their clients to go to the gym.
You'll never be great at sales if you don't internalize this, is that I'll tell you what you need to do first, and I'll tell the why behind it. Those three things. Students do that every day.
We're here with another podcast episode. As you can see, we've been very consistent with our uploads because we've been very disciplined with that. I think it's been like a month since our last upload. How long has it been?
I think it's about 2 months.
It's been
months.
So you can see very consistent podcasters. We're back though with popular demand. And when I say popular demand, all two of you, thank you. Yasser and Brian. But we're back and we're not in Dubai. Where are we, Jun?
We're in Bali. Fuck.
Why the fuck are we in Bali? I thought we hated Bali.
Why are we here? We're here to find meaning of life. Is really life all about making money? Is it? Is it?
It's not all about money, Jun.
It's all about money.
It's not all about money.
It's all about
There's other values in life that are important.
It's all about success, the grind, the tears, the sweat, isn't it? The blood.
So this is a bit of a different episode. As we've been in Dubai, you've heard us talk a lot about, okay, you gotta put yourself in an environment where you can get hungry, you gotta get after it, yada, 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 hustle, grind, work ethic, yes. This is on the other end of the spectrum. So you're gonna see more the woo-woo side of sales and life that we've been going through. So let's talk about that.
First of all, let's talk about why people are not making the money that they want to be making. Why do you think that the root cause is?
It's a loaded question. I mean, there's so many things. Number one, I mean, the obvious logical answer is, okay, there's a skill set deficiency, meaning that you don't know what to say, you don't know how to say, you don't know how to objection handle, yada, yada, yada. And there's a vehicle part, which is you're in a shitty vehicle, per se, which are another aspects. But also another aspect that I've been reflecting on is the inner game side of things. Okay?
What do you mean?
So what I realized was that, okay, so in our training program, Real Sales System, we'll give the new students the framework, right? Hey, dude, here's how to say the things. Here's how to say the objection handling, so on and so forth. And then they'll bring a call recording to the feedback sessions. And then, okay, cool, dude, let's take a look. And we'll look at the objection handling part. And then the student will kind of say the reframe and the word tracks and things like that. And then after that, they just hop, like the prospects keep saying like, yeah, dude, it's just how I make decisions. They hop off the call. And I'm like, huh, interesting. We look at it, it's like, dude, you gave up way too soon. It's what I call premature ejaculation.
Ejaculation?
Not premature ejaculation, not the thing you have, but premature ejaculation. Okay.
I mean, the lady said it's okay, actually.
Yeah, that's the problem. So
yeah, okay, cool.
There's a term actually widely known in the dating space. So let's imagine a scenario where you're at a club, you're at a bar, you're talking to a girl. You're talking to her, yada, yada, yada. She's not really like that laughing at your jokes, and she's kind of like just kind of there, right?
Yeah.
So in the dating community, what happens is a lot of guys just walk away from the interaction too soon.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, oh, she just wasn't giving me much. So the dating experts will say, okay, but the girl's still standing there. So she could walk away. It's a free country. She has all the different places she could go in the club, but she's still deciding to stand there and still talk to you. So that doesn't mean she's uninterested. As our Lord and Savior Grant Cardone says, no interest is a level of interest.
I dig that.
Probably gonna get canceled. But anyways, so in the dating community, there's another saying called you want to be the last dick standing. Because the last dick standing gets sat on, right? So what'll happen is, let's say you're talking in the group of girls, right? I actually noticed this in Vegas, right? When I was in Vegas, it was just when I turned 21, and in the lobby of what's that club?
Omnia?
No, not Omnia. It's at the Cosmopolitan. What's that club?
Put it in the comments below.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's like a hip hop club, I think. Anyways, I was there, yada yada, and I was in the lobby for a little bit, and I started talking to this girl. And it's going well. We're just talking.
Yeah.
And then there's some random girl doing fucking splits. Like some white girl doing splits in the middle of the lobby. I'm like, that's interesting. Some crazy person. Typical Vegas. Anyways, I'm talking to the girl. Turns out the girl was this girl's roommate. Okay. So I was like, okay, sweet. And then later on, more people start coming into the scene. So, okay, now we're going to the hotel lobby. We're having this drink. And now her friends, who's a DJ, she comes into the group, da da da. Now, what happened was there are other guys that are kind of within that group. And what happened was some of those guys just left because they're like, oh, it's like a big group and, whatever it may be. So, but I just stuck in there. I was like, well, what else am I going to do? So it's a law of attrition, right? So I just sat in there. It's like, da da da. And then later on, like the more fat friend wants to go to McDonald's, so she fucks off. And the more responsible girl says, oh, I have work at 7 in the morning, so she fucks off, right? The DJ friend goes, hey, I got a gig to go. It goes away. So I'm the only one left with the girl. So I'm the last stick standing. So therefore, we go home together and read the Bible together, obviously. So, but it's the similar concept in sales I found, because most people, they kind of know what to say. I mean, it's not the most efficient. That's another topic. They got to get better at that too.
Yeah.
But another part is that if you just sit in there in the discomfort, you just have a higher possibility of closing that deal. Because let's look at two different scenarios. Case number one, you feel weird or awkward, or you run out of things to say, or you feel pushy. So, okay, no worries. Just feel free to reach out when you're ready. Now, what's the possibility of closing that deal? Now you're just hoping that the lead just comes back to you somehow. And what's the out of 10 times, how many times does it come back and actually move forward? Very, very low, right?
Yeah.
But let's take a different case where another closer, they may not know all the smooth, crazy NLP, the overcomplicated reframes to say, but if they just sit in there, just start yapping about something, then doesn't the person have a higher probability of closing that deal? They have a 1% higher, right? So I get a lot of inspiration from Gary Vee, because Gary Vee is the person that inspired me to drop out of college and go into the make money online realm.
Content.
Are you on TikTok, my man?
How old are you?
Gary, I don't think I have enough time. How old are you, my man? I'm 79. You got time? Snapchat. Are you on Snapchat? Are you posting? How many times are you posting? Posting 10 times. Post 20. People have no fucking idea. I love Gary. Anyways, what Gary says is 1 is always greater than 0.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot, because that is just a higher possibility move, right? Yeah. But let's take a look at why do people just get off the call too easily. So they may say, oh, I didn't know what to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like the surface layer reason. But also deeper layer behind that is like maybe they feel awkward.
Yeah.
They feel discomfort and they can't sit with it.
Yeah.
Because maybe they haven't done the inner work. Now, it may not be your fault, because, I mean, do people teach that at school? Do most sales training programs teach you that? Do your sales managers teach you that? Probably not, right? But at the end of the day, it's still your responsibility, right? Which is why, lucky for you, we're talking about this in the podcast. See, Cupid sent you this video to you. Instead of Cupid sending you a girl that's going to break your heart and drain your bank account and end up in a toxic relationship, Cupid sent us to you. Anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an interesting thing, because when I got into sales, because I've gone through like a lot of rejections, because I first got into like the whole pickup community, right? Yeah. I was cold approaching 50 girls, and I mean, to be fair, most like random people, like random Korean old men just in the street corner, just learning how to sit in the discomfort and the awkwardness, and then just the fear of rejection and the fear of failure. I mean, it's still an ongoing process. I'm still learning and still improving, but because I've done that when I got into sales, it became a lot easier. So it seems like an overnight success, right? People say, oh, June, Brian, you guys came out of nowhere. We didn't come out of nowhere. You just didn't see it underneath the iceberg of what the work we've been doing prior to the point that you're seeing us right now.
Yeah.
That's a big thing I'm seeing, is people just feel awkward, and a lot of mental things, really, that they're killing their sales, really. Killing their sales, killing their career, killing the life they could have, killing the version of themselves they could have. Yeah. Not just in sales and work, but it affects other areas of their life too, such as like friends or family or whatever it may be.
Yeah, yeah. You will never be great at sales if you don't internalize this, is that the stronger your internal dialogue is, the more persuasive you are. You have to embody that. Now, what that means is that you talked about inner game, right? Is that I'm pretty sure, like, for example, you guys had moments where one sales call, you're like a sales god. You're like, everything that I say is fucking beautiful. Where did that come from? Right? But that means that it's already within you. Like, you know how to perform like a sales god, right? Let's say your default skill set was a 3 out of 10. But in one call, you perform like an 8 out of 10. out of the blue. Like you're like, what the heck? I'm coming up with my own reframes. I'm in the zone, right? It means that the 8 out of 10 is already within you. It means that you already know what to say. But the reason why you're still performing a 3 out of 10 most of the times, and that 8 out of 10 comes luckily for you, is because your internal dialogue has a weak foundation behind it. Is that, and I'll tell you what you need to do first, and I'll tell the why behind it. So what you need to do first is quickly to match your default skill set from 3 out of 10 to 8 out of 10, which you already have 8 out of 10 skill set, is to keep on listening to that call over and over again in the background. Not in your conscious mind, but in your subconscious mind, let it soak in over and over again. The reason why is because it means that somewhere in the subconscious you already have it, but you haven't fully brought it up. So the easiest way and the fastest way actually at the same time is actually listening to your own sales call that was successful, like 8 out of 10, over and over again. Let this soak in your subconscious mind, because 95% of behaviors come from our subconscious mind, actually. We think it's all conscious, but it's our subconscious mind dictating who we are and what we do, our behaviors. So as you're listening to your 8 out of 10 sales call, right? You perform an 8 out of 10, and that sales call, you listen to that, you're slowly matching your default from 3 out of 10 to 8 out of 10, subconsciously, and letting that soak in. Now, the reason why I said your internal dialogue needs to be stronger so that you can actually be greater than who you are, right? Be more persuasive, is because it's the same thing, right? Pre-ejaculation? Ejaculation?
Premature ejaculation.
Such a difficult word. Fuck that, you know. So yesterday, a prospect actually who was looking to buy Sales Edge Pinnacle, my group coaching program, whatever it is, right? So he got on a call, and then he gave me an objection, saying like, "Oh, I want to do this with my friend, so I'm going to talk with my friend." Right?
I would have given them a face of disgust.
A face of disgust. I was like, this is interesting, because I was taking the call in Nirvana in the beach club, you know,
Beach club.
after a gym session, right? And there was like some movie playing. It was super loud. I was listening to that, but in the discovery, I uncovered that everything that he does is based on someone else's permission. By the way, how do I know? So he was on offer. He was making 10K a month every single month. The last 2 months, he dropped down to 4K a month. And I asked him, why are you tolerating that? Why are you tolerating that drop for the last 60 days? He said, the offer owner promised me XYZ. So where is your faith at? Where's your confidence based at right now? Is it based on who you are and what you can achieve? Or is it based on someone else's promise? Because if your success is based on someone else's promise, you're one promise away from losing everything that you've ever achieved. That was what was going in his mind. So he needed permission from his offer owner to perform, which in this case, he was making 4K a month. He dropped down 60% of his income. And therefore, it's impacting his family, right? We uncovered that. This is a pattern, right? It's a decision-making pattern. And when he said, I want to talk with my friend, that's where I was like, that's a decision-making pattern that he's embodied. That's fucking it over right now. So we uncovered a few more objections, right? Went on the first loop overcame it, and he was like, I want to stick to my process still. I'm adamant about that. Okay, cool. I was like, I don't think that's the real reason. What's behind that? He said, I'm looking at 3 more competitors of yours. I know the market. So I overcame that objection pretty logistically, you know. I was like, this guy, he will be able to help you with this. He will be able to help you out, help you out. He will be able to help you out with offers, right? I'm the one who can help you out with offers and your mentality at the same time. So I overcame it pretty fairly. And then he was like, okay, that makes sense. I still want to talk with my friend again. I was like, oh, what's behind that? Because I want to role play with him. So I was like, okay, third loop now, right? So I got in third loop. I was like, how am I supposed to coach you whenever I'm going to let you do whatever you're comfortable with? Because who's responsible for your own results at the end of the day? Is it your friend or is it you? Is your friend going to feed your family? Yeah. No. So at the end of the day, like all my successful students, by the way, they all did it alone. Why do you need external validation external permission to get the results that you want. And I asked him, do you look up to me? Do you want to close like me? And he was like, yeah. You've done a great job at the call. I was like, well, if you look up to me and if you know that I've done a good job, then who do you need to learn from your friend or from me? And what does your family deserve? I stayed in 4 more loops, got the deal. Because he had 3 more calls booked in. It was like canceled and everything. But it's like, the reason why, so I'm giving this example not to flex, but it's like, my internal dialogue is, no, that's not how I make decisions. I don't make decisions based on someone else's promises or permission. I make decisions because I'm unapologetic of what I want. I'm going to be ruthless about it. Right? I don't need external permission again. If I make a decision, it's based on my own commitment. That was my internal dialogue. His internal dialogue was what? Is that I need to seek external validation. I need to seek external permission. Well, guess what? I didn't buy into his story. I didn't buy into his beliefs. So therefore, whoever has stronger internal dialogue will always win. I have stronger internal dialogue because I lived that life, And he bought into that belief at the end of the day. And guess what? He's thanking me now, So that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, again, like I could have done like, oh, okay, well, talk with your friend. Let him talk with 3 other competitors, which gotta shoot shots. They're all bullshit, by the way. All faking their numbers.
Mm.
You know who?
Shots fired.
Yeah. A lot of sales coach, they fake their numbers. Even there's a guy that don't even succeed their like payment plans, succeed their complete their promises. So
unfortunate.
That's the sales coaching world. So I had strong conviction, and it's like, well, you either buy into your own story of who you can become based on your own commitment, or you can buy your own story in regards to what has been fucking you over and letting that dictate who you can become and what you can become for you and your family. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, also a lot of things come down to standards because sometimes students will listen to my objection handling recordings or my sales call recordings or one of the role plays we do. It's like students like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Can you show me how to do it? It's like, oh, cool, let's go over it. Like a vague prospect or, prospect that says, hey, I just need 24 hours. That's how I always make decisions. There's actually one call in the vault in our program where there's like 73 minutes of just only objection handling. And then students are like, dude, like, how are you doing that? How are you being so direct? And because I'm direct with myself. So we all hear the cliche saying that, hey, the congruency. I'm going to bring this one more time because sales, in fact, is a mirror. Not only sales is a mirror, but life is also a mirror. Because, I mean, if you don't have urgency within your own goal, how are you going to help another human being look at them dead in the eyes and help them get urgency with their goal? How? Right? It's like a fat personal trainer who doesn't go to the gym telling their clients to go to the gym. It's like, okay, dude. The fat personal trainer, they can say the words, hey, you must go to the gym, but they're not going to the gym. So how can they say that with any level of conviction or certainty? It's just impossible, right? The same thing with being a congruent closer. What I see a lot is whenever someone is struggling with objection handling, they don't have self-belief within themselves.
Yeah. Or
high level of self-belief within themselves. And they don't hold themselves to a higher standard.
Yeah.
So these days, I overcome my own objection, right? So I'll give you a couple examples. So recently, I've invested some investments in my business, right? Whether it be agencies or masterminds or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So I paid something for 20 grand. I paid something for 18 grand. I paid something for 26 grand. Okay. And a bunch of different agencies. We are at our 9th content agency. Can you believe it? Celebrate. Pew. Because the previous 8 ones have not worked out. One of them, in fact, actually, one of the content agencies, I paid them 3 grand. They're supposed to edit, I think, 8 or 12 YouTube videos. After they edited one, which took a lot of back and forth, by the way, quality wasn't that good. After that, they ghosted. So what did I do? Being the persistent sales guy I am, I follow up in the Slack channel. Then. Follow up. Question mark. GIF. Don't respond. What's going on? I DM them. No response. I find them on Instagram. No response. I find out their employees' emails. No response. At that point, I'm like, is this real life? These guys literally just took money and just literally ran away. Like, I followed up so many times. Not just once or twice, but like over like a 2-week time period consistently. Now, at that point, I had a choice, right? I could be like, man, I got burned. I don't trust any of these content agencies. my life. I just feel sorry about myself. I
Yeah.
can't do that. That is one way of doing it. It's like a lower paradigm level of thinking. What I decided to do was like, you know what? This is kind of shit. I'm just gonna move on. The $3,000, let me just walk away because the time, me spending time on this and mental sanity in this is just not worth it. So these days, I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather walk away from money to have time and mental sanity.
Yeah.
I've gotten to that point, which is great.
It's great because winners, they think about lost potential, lost time, right? And losers or ordinary people, they think about like failures or just loss in general, you know? So, I mean, for you, you're focused on time. But if you think about like all these successful people, like Jeff Bezos, for example, right? They value time. And when you mentioned about content agencies, right? Is that it's the same thing with sales, actually, salespeople, right? Is that the standard of the bar is so low.
So low.
Is that, dude, you're on a 2K a month skill set. Like, how the fuck do you think you can get a 20K a month offer? They're like, hey, June, I just need to change my offer. Shut the fuck up. Okay, role play with me. So I have people role play with me on my sales call, right? You know how many people actually successfully does that role play?
10 out of 10 times is shit.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
literally.
Same.
And like you feel like you deserve a better offer. Yes. I mean, it's good to have delusional level of confidence, but you need to have proof of evidence behind that.
Yeah.
Where's the proof of evidence? You crash in the first 5 minutes, and I'm not even playing a difficult prospect, by the way. I tell all about my problems and everything. They don't even know how to probe. And they're like, what? They're telling me, hey, June, you put me on the spot. Well, guess what? If I ask you to tie your shoes, you're going to tell me, I put you on the spot. You're going to be like, June, what the fuck? And you're going to tie your shoes. Because it's just second nature. Why can we not hold ourselves to a standard where it's like, closing is like second nature, where I tell you, hey, objection handle with me right now. Okay, what's going on? Like, you're like ready to go right away. Because Andy Elliott said it. Your skill set is exposed, like your actual real skill set is exposed when you're in the most amount of pressure. Well, guess what? That's a real skill set. You'd be like, hey, Jude, I perform better in real life. Dude, you're not even able to perform right now when I put you on the spot. When it's just one-on-one, me and a call with me. Hate to be that guy, but put you and me in a room full of 50, 100 closers, which we have already done. If you have to objection handle in front of 50 people, 100 people, piece of cake for us. Hey, Jude, can you show me how to objection handle? Hey, Brian, can you show me how to objection handle? We're like, okay, cool, let's do it. Done it so many times, in front of my students, right? It's like, why can we not hold ourselves to a standard where it's like, it's not only about the offers, but you're trading as well. And you can tell me, hey, Jude, okay, I don't know what to trade. Well, first of all, role play is not fucking trading. It's just a networking call in disguise. I'm not telling you not to role play, by the way, because it's good networking for offers, by the way. But role plays don't get you shit. It's the blind leading the blind. If you role play with, people like us, that it could be a different story. But usually people role play with who? The same level of caliber of people, It's just sucking each other's dick, mentally masturbating. One of the things that I tell my students do, which increase their closing rate, like dramatically, and literally makes a difference between like an advanced closer and a shitty closer, right? An amateur, is having them handwrite what answers they're looking for with each question in the script. And if you guys don't know, okay, what script are you guys talking about? Go to Brian's free YouTube channel or my YouTube channel, whatever it is, right? There's a script already over there. It's like, 27 questions at most, really, in the script? Easy to fucking memorize, by the way. And handwrite what answers you're looking for with each question, because you tell me, how many closers know what answers they're looking for with each question?
They don't know. Okay.
Tell me, and how many closers know why they're asking that question? Why they're looking for that answer also?
Oh, they don't know.
Exactly. That's the fucking problem. If you don't know why you're asking that question, if you don't know what answer you're looking for and why the fuck are you asking that question? Just because it's in the script? What? Like you're an order taker? You don't know how to think for yourself? Where's that lack of proactivity coming from as well, right? Handwrite what answers you're looking for with each question, and write down why you're looking for those answers. And if you want to go beyond and above, you can even write down what answer you're not looking for. You're not looking to sell for. Do that every single day. And if you want sexy results, right? If you guys want sexy results, you have to do the unsexy work every single day. Literally. Look at yourself in the mirror and be like, how honest am I in terms of trading? That's how, like, literally my students, right, my advanced students, they surpass all these guys who spit in space for months and years. They're like, my students are completely new at high ticket sales, but they surpass that so quickly and get jobs, get offers, like all these advanced closers want. It's because they're actually fucking good at what they do. Just because you have experience doesn't mean that you're good at what you do. Your experience has no correlation to how good you can perform in a call. Literally. You can have 2 years of experience, but if you make 2K a month, are you experienced? Or it just proves that you're a shitty closer? You tell me.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, going back to the entitlement thing, you can have ego, you can have confidence, but you're gonna have proof to back it up.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, then you're just, I mean, it's hurting you more than it's helping you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And going back to the standard thing too, I found that it's probably the same for you too. Like the students that succeed the most, they have high standards within themselves, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of different ones right now, but Wyatt is one of them. So Wyatt right now, I think the top 3 or 4 closer out of 40 reps at an 8-figure company, selling to depressingly broke leads, like literal homeless people booking onto his calendar.
Yeah.
He's still number 3 or 4, right? And so, but because he has high standards with himself, like when you talk to those, you can tell like he has whenever you talk to somebody, I know either this person's successful, they're gonna be successful. Just the way they talk and the way how their eyes are lit up.
Yeah.
And in his eyes, I can tell, okay, like this guy is like fucking getting after it, right? So because of that, he doesn't buy into his own limitations. So he doesn't let the prospects buy into their own limitations. Whether it be, hey man, I want to go talk to my partner. Hey dude, I just need 24 hours. Hey dude, I just need to go think about it, yada, yada, yada. He's like, yeah, no problem, dude. And he goes through it just casually because, no, like, I don't hold myself to a lower standard. I hold myself to a higher standard. So why would I let you hold yourself to a lower standard?
Exactly.
It makes no fucking sense. And so objection handling, I mean, the whole sales call in general, but especially when it comes to objection handling too, it's a mix between you're being empathetic. You're showing empathy. Say, hey, dude, I get it. I've been there. I've been in that chair. I know it's tough. I know it's scary. While not letting them buy into their own limitations.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing that, you're not helping them.
Yeah.
You're not helping you. And it's really a terrible feeling. I don't know about you, but I have a terrible feelings where I walk away from the sales call because, man, I didn't do my job.
Mm-hmm.
And I just let that person stay in the same problem, same status quo. And that just ate away at me.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I don't feel that anymore. I think during the last 2 years, I've only had like maybe like 3 or 4 calls that I was like, I could have done better. But I know I'm very truthful to myself. Every sales call I've gone on, like I've done my very best within the time that is allocated. Like it's not about whether how good I perform or how bad I perform. It's about I know I gave my everything. Like rarely I have thoughts like, oh, I should have said this. Like I don't even remember when was the last time I was like. Because I know that I was truthful to my standards. Because every single thing that comes out of my mouth in a sales call is basically derived from the thought of why are you selling yourself short, right? Let's say I got a problem out of you, right? Let's say you've been struggling. Let's say you've been just in a job 2 years. You haven't seen your kids for quite some time because you're driving trucks or whatever. Like literally, some of the questions that I ask, right, many times in a sales call, I'm like super direct. I'm like, can I be direct with you? And you tell me, yeah. Well, are you sure? It might hurt your feelings. You're going to tell me, well, yeah, just go on. If you know that you want to spend more time with the kids for the last 2 years, why the fuck are you tolerating that? And some of the guys be like, oh, I wasn't tolerating it. I was trying to get better. And I'd say something like, well, have you ever heard, well, that's fine. Have you ever heard the saying, whatever you're tolerating or whatever you're accepting in reality, you're telling your subconscious mind that you deserve it? And they're like, no, I haven't heard about it. Well, what do you think that means, though? And that's how I slowly dismantle that thought process. Slowly having to accept the fact that they were tolerating it when they know they could have done better. My thought process is always like, why are you selling yourself short? And why are you tolerating that? Why are you told me about this, right? Matt Ryder asked me, why? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
Why are you doing that?
Even though you're asking it in a very casual way, it shakes your core, though.
Sees doubt.
Yeah, it's like, why are you tolerating that? Hey, Brian, why are you not running ads, for example? Like, right? If you ask me, if I ask you that, you're going to be like, yeah, why am I not running ads actually? Or why am I not doing this? Or why am I now not working out more? Well, actually, why? It shakes you to the core. It's a very powerful question. And I love asking questions like, why are you tolerating that? Or why are you settling for that? Or why are you accepting that that is norm? like I said, whatever we're tolerating in life, we're telling our subconscious mind that we deserve it. Then it comes down to self-worth, right? Is that deep down, you don't believe you can make 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month.
It's almost like being in a toxic relationship.
Exactly.
Right? So why do people stay in toxic relationships? They don't have the self-belief that they can go get something better. They don't deserve that they can get a better life, right? So whenever you look at, like, especially women have this, where women, they've been in a toxic relationship and the guy's literally abusing them, beating them up, right? And verbally and physically. And it would go on for like a 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Like they don't do anything, but because they don't believe that they can do better.
No.
So that's a tough part for a lot of people. But it's and like people may be saying, yeah, but you guys said like offers important, skills important. It's both. Like life is a paradox. Life is contradiction. So it's both. Where the vehicle matters as well, but also you gotta deserve that too, right? So like Wyatt as an example, it's like, okay, cool. I also introduced him to like another offer, right? So their current closers are making like 16 or 20K a month. It's like a trading offer. So I introduced him to the sales manager. So sales manager trusts me. So it's like he's talking to the rep, yada yada yada. And then he's looking at the data. It's like, yeah, dude, we're looking for someone with like higher close rate. And so, well, I kind of warmed up the guys. Hey, did you hop on a like mock call? Da da da. And once the sales manager hopped on a mock call with Y, he's like, okay, cool, this guy's actually good. So you give him the yes, right?
Yeah.
And so, and also another thing with Wyatt too is like the same thing with a toxic relationship. I see this. I'm starting to see this more often, where like he's staying on offer, where like he's getting literal homeless people. He's talking to sales manager, sales director. But yeah, so like he was staying on that offer and like getting literal homeless people. I know this guy's skill set. He should be making way more, even though he's one of the top dogs in that offer right now. It's like, hey, dude, I would say, okay, so first talk to sales manager what solution you can do, right? That's the first step. But their sales manager, sales director, whoever, they're not even really almost being dismissive with the rep, like barely even, oh, we'll do that, but they're not taking action about it, right?
Yeah.
Now, if they're taking action about it, that's another story. When I was a sales sniper, the reason why I was so loyal was because Anthony Vazzari, who was managing the accounts that I was on, he made sure that I was set up for success, right? So, I mean, I became the top closer on that offer and outselling the other 3 closers combined by myself.
Yeah.
At one point, the marketing started to tank. But I never had any second thought going to another offer because at least like Anthony was like, hey, dude, we're going to figure this out, da da da. And he did. Like, he put me on another offer. And then that's when I got to 7th level, where that's when I got to 15K a month, 23, 36K a month, so on and so forth. But I'm like, I asked the rep, is your sales director doing that? Because he keeps like, why aren't you leaving? Or why aren't you getting another offer? He said, it's just a loyalty thing, man. I just like to be loyal to people. That's great. But how loyal is your sales director being to you?
Yeah.
How much are they looking out for you the way you're looking out for them? And he couldn't answer that. He's like, he was just thinking, he's like, he didn't answer it, but I knew the answer was no. So that's when the next day is like, okay, you're right. That's when he started getting more offers onto his hand, like more income potential, so on and so forth.
There we go.
Because we just don't look at these things. So sometimes you need like a mentor, someone to come by. It's like, hey, dude, to point out the blind spots on what's going on, to see like, dude, do you want more? Do you believe you deserve more? Because if you don't believe it, you just tolerate and stay where you're at.
Whatever you're tolerating, you're telling your subconscious mind that you deserve it. The standard that you live, your standard that you accept is the life that you're living. The life that you're living is standard that you accept it, basically. It's like, whenever I see a rep that is struggling in an offer, and it's like literally the offer problem, which can't bullshit me. I know what an offer problem is, a sales system problem is, sales process problem is, and a skill set issue is, right? I can see it from a call recording, you know? So I've discovered that this offer that I place my my student in has a sales process issue, right? It's been going on for, like, I was like, yeah, give it a little benefit of doubt, just give it a week. And literally it was like 7 calls booked. So my student, he was just doing follow-ups, because I told him, hey, don't be a princess, go for it, you know? You get to do follow-ups, you know? So he did that, but there was no tangible promise that the offer would actually go up. I just couldn't see it happening. So I told the same thing. Hey, you got to leave that offer. He was like, but I'm bought into the vision of this offer. Like, the offer owner is so great, you know? I was like, huh, where's that loyalty coming from? I was like, well, if I leave, then it's like, I don't want to be that offer hopper or whatever, you know? So I was like, okay, you care about someone else's opinion, okay? So you're one opinion away from losing everything that you ever got, which is happening right now. I asked him, what are you loyal to, though? Are you loyal to your offer owner? Or are you loyal to who you can become for you and your family. Sometimes you have, many times actually, and most of the time actually, you have to be unapologetic and ruthless about what you want and who you can become. You'll never get on great offers if you're loyal to the idea of someone else instead of being loyal to what you can achieve. If you think about it, right? If you're loyal to what you can achieve, then why would you need someone else's approval? When you know you're loyal to your training, who you can become, and how good you can become, right? Why would you need external validation? And one thing that you mentioned about is, right, is that this is the reason why people don't get on good offers, even though you think you have the experience. It's because when the interviewers are doing mock call with like our students, for example, right, who've trained the fuck up, that's real evidence. You can have all the experience, but you can still, you're most of the time, they're shit, honestly. I'm gonna say it. They're shit.
They think they're good.
They think they're good. They think they're good, but they're absolute shit. The thing is, the interviewers or the offer owners, they get to interview my students, right? Because I train the fuck out of them. You train the fuck out of your students as well, right? They actually do like actual training, like call reviews, right? I tell them to do image training, right? Role play with themselves, because that's honestly way more effective, scientifically proven, to do role plays with your other peers that you're mentally masturbating with each other, right? Or like writing down what answer you're looking for, right? Those three things. I have my students do that every day. When they get on so they have what? They start like closing like 2, 3, 4 months in, really? But that's how they surpass the other guys that have way more, because when the offer owner does a mock call with them, they absolutely fucking crush it. They absolutely fucking crush it. It's not about how much experience. It's about like how good you are at the end of the day.
100%.
I don't care about how long a content agency has been out for you. I don't care. I care about, oh, I like the video. Oh, I like the editing. Your value is placed on how good you are. And here's another perception, and I want to talk about this with you, is that people think change takes time. Well, what's your opinion on that?
It's a double-sided sword, because people use that term time takes time as an excuse, and it kills people. And when I see it killing people, it kills me, because yes, time could take time, but if you use it as a justification, it's like, oh, but you know, just time takes time. Yeah, but your action's not reflecting it. Yeah. So now you're using it as a cope, as a justification why you're not where you want to be.
Yeah.
And now you're just like, okay, cool, dude. Now you feel better about yourself, but your life is the same. The person you are is the same. The people around you, they have the same life. They're not getting what they deserve. So what's the whole fucking point?
Time is only relevant, right? Time takes time. That only applies when your time is relevant to what you can become and who you can become. That's the thing. Time takes time. Great. YouTube videos, watch like whatever YouTube videos, try to figure it out on your own, whatever bullshit it is, right? Time takes time, guess. Right? But it's like time is only relevant when you actually put in the right training with the right direction, when someone's looking after you, right? Okay, devil's advocate, right? We both sell our own program. So you could be like, oh, these gurus trying to sell a program. Well, take our program out of a second though. Like literally every single self-help book that I read all talks about getting a mentor, buying someone's time. Because what? Successful people are focused on buying time at the end of the day. That's standard. When I buy into your mentorship, right, I'm buying time from you. I'm buying all the trial and mistake that you've gone through and compacting in just like what? Only months what took you years. That's a fucking hack. Oh, okay, it took you what? I don't know, let's say, like, I think it took you like 2 months to make 20K a month. It took me 2.5 years to make my first 10K a month. But if you buy from me, you're buying all the 2.5 years trial that I've gone through, where you just literally have to bypass all of that. My students make literally make high-ticket closing work in like 2-3 months. Right? It's just like, you just have to be good at what you do, really. And you just have to hold to that standard and actually be honest with who you are. And going back to the topic of, does change take time? That's a misconception. So I paid $8,000 to a hypnotist, right? Because my limiting belief that I have was success requires grind and sacrifices. It can't be that fucking easy. Everything needs to be like grind. And yes, it's great. Grind is great. But hear me out though. Is that there is a book named 10x Change is actually easier than 2x Change. Actually, statistically, even scientifically proven that drastic instant change is easier than gradual change. There's no such thing as gradual change. Someone on the call told me, "Hey June, I want to be gradual. I want to gradually improve." So I was like, "Why do you want to do that when you can improve exponentially, for example?" He was like, "Well, I want to be consistent." I asked him, "What does consistency have to do with gradually going up?" That's a fucking limiting belief, isn't it? Because you can gradually, exponentially grow your income, let's say, right? Income potential, and you can be consistent about it. But his thought process, what? Gradual consistency. And that's what people think normally. Is that you can gradually increase who you can become in that second. Change is fucking easy. But we're told from society that change is fucking hard. And therefore, change is hard. So everything that we do is a struggle. Like we need to put more work. We need to do more. It's more tense. And that leads to what? Burnout. Well, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and let's also look at your buying process, right? Because how did you buy that hypnosis thing? Where did you meet the guy? How long did it take you for the full training?
I never met the guy like at all. So a friend reached out to me over DMs. He was like, "Hey, let's work out. You're in Bali. Let's work out." So we went to the gym together, right? And then he had a group of friends, right? So shout out to Ibrahim, by the way, the hypnotist. Now he's a good friend of mine. But I saw him. We were saying like, "Hey, like, yeah, like Caleb is a good friend of mine. We're just chit chatting, right?" And then he said he's a hypnotist, right? I was like, "Oh, a hypnotist. I don't buy into that bullshit."
You said it to him.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty skeptical, you know. So we were talking about it here and there, and I'm very problem aware, by the way, of my limiting beliefs of who I am, right? So like in the beginning, I told him, "Yeah, I think I'm very problem aware." Like I was just opening up. He didn't even ask me. I was just opening up. And then in my mind, what happened was, actually, what would life look like? So I was doing my own solution where I was just future pacing myself. So I was like, what would life what would life look like if I don't have these doubts in my mind? It was a 40-minute conversation, and I asked him, "Okay, how much is one session of yours? One-on-one?" It was like 1 hour is $8,000. I was like, let's fucking do it. And by the way, there's a video evidence of it, but bought it on spot. The next day, did the one-on-one session. There we go. If you guys want to know like what happened, put a YouTube video on it. But yeah.
Some random guy you met at the gym, 40-minute conversation, $8,000 for 1 hour. Boom.
Yeah, just for 1 hour.
So what was going through your mind? Because, dude, I don't know. You know, you may have all the concerns, right? So what made you overcome that?
Yeah, first of all, I know hypnotists that charge $500 for one session. I know them personally. But what was going on in my mind was I'd rather buy time than my money, right? Money I can always make back. It's not because I make a lot of money or anything like that. I'm just a small fish in a grand scheme of life, you know. But it's like my thought process was I'm afraid of my lost potential. How much longer am I willing to tolerate my limiting beliefs? Because in my mind, I was like, it's okay. I'll push through. So the reason why I went in was because I wanted to feel like success can be effortless once in my life, right? And I want to talk more about that if we have more time, but it's like, I want to feel like success is effortless, that I don't have to push through. I have massive approach anxiety. You've seen it, right? I have massive approach anxiety. I'm just a shy dude in general, up until now, you know?
What do you mean by approach anxiety for people to understand?
Approach anxiety, like just approaching not only just women, right? And sparking conversation, but random strangers in general. Just, I don't spark conversations with random strangers. Ironically, I'm in sales, right? But I'm really good at it. But it's like, I don't approach people though. I don't. Like, if I have to do outbound dials, it's a different story, right? But even when I was doing outbound dials, I had to push through, right? So I never really enjoyed sales. I love the persuasion of it. Anyways, like every single thing, I need to just push through. Success is difficult. Success requires grind, sacrifices, right? So, okay, what happened was that Ibrahim, the hypnotist, asked me, "What's your goal? What do you want to achieve in this session?" In that one-on-one. I said, "Okay, well, I want to make $200K a month profit working 2 hours a day." And when I said that, there was this internal resistance within me, which was, can't be that fucking easy. Okay, how much sacrifice does that require? That was going in my mind. So I was laughing. I was just saying, it was like, why are you laughing? I was like, yeah, that just doesn't feel right. That just doesn't feel right. It can't be 2 hours a day. But Jeff Bezos, for example, he's making $500 million a year, right? Chilling in Seattle, for example. Whenever he wants to work, he works. Whenever he doesn't, That guy doesn't work harder than me. I work harder than him. So he's asking, is that the truth? Absolutely not. Where's that truth coming from then? My dad, he passed away because he was working 13 hours, 10 to 13 hours every single day, 7 days a week. His value was placed on how hard he can work for the family, how much he can provide for the family, right? This is the scary part about programming, by the way. I saw that first 7 years of my life. No one taught me to hustle and push through, grind, discipline, 10 hours, 13 hours a day. It's just in me. Because that was from my dad. And my self-value was placed on what I can achieve externally, which is how much money I make. Which is, if I don't retire my mom, I'm a piece of shit. Strip me off from all my height, looks, or the money that I make, I'm going to be the least confident man ever. Literally. Because my self-value is placed on externals. So what we did was we replaced that belief with my value, like success needs to be hard, the grind, glorifying all of that, to saying like I need to push through, to one reframe to I get to push through. Because I need to push through, it means that it already implies that I'm not pushing through. So from a human vibrational chart, editors put it up there from David Hawkins, right? I don't know. But I'm operating out of what? Guilt and shame. Low vibrational state, basically. So what that does, it injects stress, which decreases my brain cells, right? Decreases my capacity as a human being. I only operate like 20% of my human capacity. And therefore, I'm not even present, productive when I'm working, but I'm burning myself out. I'm anxious I'm anxious when I'm working. And it feels so much effort and grind. It's like, I don't want to do this, but I need to do this. And I'm glorifying that. 2, the reframe that I made, that he made for me as well, is that, and I decided to do it was, I get to do what I gotta do. It comes from a place of gratitude, which is one of the highest level, peace, joy, in the human vibrational chart. So now everything becomes effortless. Right? It's not about working. I can work the same hours, by the way, pushing through, working 4 hours a day, or I can get to work. I get to work 4 hours. Which one feels more lighthearted, though? Which one feels more effortless? Need to or get to? I choose to. It's coming from a place of empowerment. And that's how you make your success effortless than what it is, by the way. And that's how you become more productive. That's how you actually train as well. You don't need to train. You get to train. And that's the beautiful part, isn't it? Is that you get to train, you make more money. Is that you telling yourself you need to train, you need to train, you need to train. It just only confirms the fact and puts guilt and shame in your mind that you're not training. No, you don't need more training. You get to have more training, though. And guess what? We're in a perfect position that if you get to do more training, if you decide to do more training, you make more money. And we're at peace and joy while we're doing that. Thoughts?
Yeah, language plays a big part.
Yeah.
Because where does language come from? It comes from our brain or our perspective. So, just a side note, whenever a prospect says, yeah, I think it would be nice to, yeah, maybe it would be nice, maybe I need to make a change. From their language, you know what their perspective is, because their language is coming from the perspective. So from a sales perspective, what you need to do is you got to coach them on how to talk.
Yeah.
And you got to change your language, because if you can change your language to, oh, I think I need to make a change. Like, you know what? I'm very committed to making a change. Then now you're changing the language, which now you're changing the perspective. And if you can change their perspective and their beliefs, now you can change their actions.
Yeah.
But it goes the same way for us too. So that's why if you master yourself, it becomes a lot easier for you to master the prospect and the sales.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And so going back to that is like, I need to do this. I remember I had this when I was in Ukraine, by the way. I was in Kiev for I think 2 or 3 months. And I have a friend there. It's like a software developer. And I'm out here like working, like, I think I was like, if it's like, oh man, I need to work. I need to da 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 da. While I see my friend working like 4 hours a day, well, at the time he was making like 15 to 30K a month. At the time, I think I was making like maybe 5 or 7 or something.
Yeah.
You know, and when I saw, I was like, dude, I need to work, da da da. And it felt like a chore. It felt like, it felt like a drag. It felt like a drain.
Yeah.
And how sustainable is that? Not that sustainable. But one of the biggest perspective shift I had when I moved to Dubai is that you see these laborers, right? And my barber, for example, my barber comes to my house and cuts my hair, right? And so this guy works 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to midnight. Okay? So he works 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to midnight. And then it's physical work. It's not something cute like we do where we sit down in front of a laptop and we talk, da da da. Right? No, he's literally going out there, fucking standing up and doing this. He always has a smile on his face. It's like, my bro, how you doing? Da da da. I'm like, this guy's always happy. I've never seen him like tired or like grunt or whatever. So I was talking to the guy, I was like, hey dude, don't you ever feel tired or like don't you ever feel like it's a chore? It's like, no, bro. It's like I'm here and I'm cutting hair. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to successful people like yourself. I'm feeding my family. I got a daughter, man. I gotta feed my daughter. And when I look at that, I was like, that's interesting. Another incident. When I was on my last company, I was talking to the top DM setter, okay? And the DM setter lives in the Philippines. I have a tremendous respect for her because she works midnight to 12 p.m. No, midnight to 12 p.m. or midnight to 10 a.m. I think like 6 days a week, 7 days a week, like clockwork. And it's not like she's some single gal. She has a family, she has kids, right? And so I was asking her, hey, I mean, you've been doing that for the last 2 years, not just for like a couple of weeks, but you're working that time for the last 2 years. Don't you ever get tired or you don't want to do it anymore? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, why not? And she said, well, I think it's an honor. I think it's an honor that I get to have this opportunity where I can just work from home and I get to help people and I get to slap people around in the DMs. You know, it's like, she's a savage, by the way.
Yeah.
And so she's like, and booking like 12 calls a day, like clockwork, just savage. And then I was like, that really humbled me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, sometimes I think I get tired and sometimes I want to just like take it easier, but I'm like, no. So that was another catalyst moment as well, where if I got an objection on a sales call and it's like my 6th call that day, back to back to back, I'm like tired. It's like 10 p.m. my time right now. It's like, fuck, that's another think about objection. Like, no, I'm not going to pussy out. Because number one, I'm gonna hold myself to a higher standard because she is fucking busting her ass. She's holding herself to a higher standard. So I cannot hold myself to a lower standard.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the same thing, right? And also another thing too with self-belief, it reminded me of another example where sometimes we'll post some different offers that students can apply to, right?
Yeah.
Here's a trading offer, closers are making 10K a month. Hey, there's a business coaching offer, closers are making 15K a month, yada, yada, yada. Guys, apply. And then sometimes I'll check in with a student because let's say a student is looking for a new offer. Like, hey, dude, apply for this offer. They'll say, okay. I check in a week later. Hey, man, how's it going with that offer? And he says, oh, I didn't apply. And I go, why not? I'll be confused. And he goes, yeah, I just don't think I'm qualified enough. I'm like, bro, who cares, man? Just fucking apply. Because what's the worst thing that can happen? Or if you apply, let's say they say no, dude, you go back to the same life you have now. Nothing ever changes. But if you apply, at least you have a 1% chance. And guess what? The better you get at it, you can reapply. Your life's not over. It's not an irreversible decision. Which is another thing too, with like different content agencies or masterminds that I've invested into. Content agency, okay, me paying another $3,000, $5,000 to a content agency, let's say they do a terrible job, it's not an irreversible decision. We can go back to that. It's not like plastic surgery. And you can argue that even plastic surgery, like, it's like irreversible, right? The mastermind too, a lot of people are afraid of, but what if I lose the money, nothing ever happens. Number one, that comes from lack of self-belief. You gotta have self-belief that, you know what, given the right help, I will figure this out. I'm not able to figure this out right now by myself. Otherwise, I would have fucking fixed it by now. But given the right help, I believe in myself that I'm going to do the work. I believe in myself that I'm not going to be a quitter. And I believe in myself that I'm actually going to ask for the right help. Then if you have that, it's not an irreversible decision. That's what I have in myself, right? So at this point, I've invested over $250,000 in coaching, courses, mastermind, all these different things, one-on-one consulting. And were all of them great investments? Not all of them. But I also just keep in mind that I always learn something. Even the one investment, I paid 18 grand with a very famous guru in the space, and the guru would hop on once a month and it would be at 13 minutes late. You know what? It wasn't an enjoyable experience. And then their delivery was not that good. Their fulfillment, they couldn't give less of a fuck, right? But I'm like, you know what? I still got something out of it. I still learned something. So I'm like, and what else are we gonna do? Let me just take what I did learn from it and just move on to the next one. Which going back to what you're talking about, right? You're like, hey, you know what? The $8,000 for 1 hour, I can make that money back. That is self-belief. You have belief that, you know what? I'm gonna make this back. Because I know I'm gonna get something out of it. It's not Hormoji said this too. It's not the program that works. It's you that makes the program work.
Here's the thing though, like I mean, you can tell me, well, so your takeaway was like what? Need to or get to? That was it? Well, guess what? I paid $8,000, right? So it's like, for me, that's life-changing advice. Because now, for example, like probably I can watch the same like takeaway, right? From a YouTube video. Well, we got to ask ourselves, how many YouTube videos have we watched about self-help? How much has that really impacted our lives, really, if you think about it, right? But for me, that in-person $8,000 that I paid to now like pay more, way more attention. It's like Alex Hormozi paid Grant Cardone like $100K. That one advice that he got from Grant Cardone, I think he paid for like 1 hour. He even finished in like 20 minutes. And it was like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm bouncing, right? That one advice was post more content to Alex Hormozi. And people in the comments were like, because Alex Hormozi talked about it, and people in the comments were like, well, I can give you the same advice. Oh, you paid $100K for that? Well, how much Alex Hormozi is making right now with that advice? Would you have taken the same? So it's like, you can take the same advice from Warren Buffett or from a beggar in the street, right? But what you're buying is that person's credibility behind it at the end of the day. It's like, I can get advice from Warren Buffett or from beggar again, but Warren Buffett's advice will change my life, even if same advice, because of the level of credibility of the person and the track record behind it, and the fact that I look up to that person. Right? People say, well, 1 hour for 1 hour you pay $50,000 for a billionaire. Well, every single advice that person tells me, it could change my life. Why? Because I perceive it differently now. So we gotta think about that, right? If you're paying money to someone, you just pay attention. That's it. And the Bible, so it can be like, oh, well, that's not the case for me. Well, I mean, the Bible is general truth. The Bible says where God says, right? Where your mouth is, right? Where your money is where your actions is. Like you can look at someone's priority by looking at where they're spending their money.
Their bank statement.
Exactly. I value my time. It clearly shows in my bank statement.
Yep.
Yeah. And for you as well.
Cleaners,
like
barbers coming to my house.
Yeah, exactly. Or like just more knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Like AI systems, coaching. There's a lot in terms of like putting my money in. Like, I mean, I don't think I'm spending that much money, but compared to a lot of like closers would never be able to, closers would never be able to afford how much I'm spending in terms of how I develop myself. Like, I'm looking for more, not because I want necessarily more, it's because I know I'm capable of doing more. Because change is easy. I want to make it more easier than what it is, Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, that's the episode. If you want to see more content from me and June, I'm just going to link our personal channel in the description box as well. You can go check it out. And I'll see you on the next episode.